I hated their fans when they didn't throw hats for a hat trick. So it's really more that
they throw
than
rats,
anything
not
else.
hats.
No, they didn't even throw rats. I was really disappointed. And I'm most disappointed in the fact that Stanley the Panther told me to kiss his butt. And I never got
what?
to.
The Donut Bag is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Your data is your business. Protect it with ExpressVPN. For 3 extra months free with a 1-year package, go to the link listed in my Twitter profile. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Donut Bag. This episode, I welcome back my hockey buddies, Ashley Wright and Chefero. And we are talking the playoffs and the Penguins. This is Monday night when I recorded this, and it was right after game 1 where they lost and looked good at times, but some players looked better than others. I'm looking at you, Tristan Jarry, and we'll see where it goes from here. As we've discussed, it's a big deal. I think game 2 is must win. By the way, I'm going to be at game 2. I'm so excited. My first sporting event to attend, and oh my goodness, I don't even remember the last time I went to a game of any kind. It might have been 2 years, something like that. So I am so excited. It's going to be 50% capacity, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, we talk about the Penguins, where we go from here. We talk about the playoffs in general. So lots of good stuff going on. So here is my talk about the Penguins and the playoffs. Donut Bag starts right now. Are we worried about that? Well, you two weren't very high on the Penguins to begin, like before the playoffs started. I was pretty high on them. I thought they were going to do well against them. I know it's just one game, but are we worried about the Penguins in this series?
Yes.
Yeah. Here's the thing. One of the things that Jen and I both talked about many times, and Jen has especially harped on this, is goalie confidence.
Mm-hmm.
We're not seeing any confidence from Tristan Jarry. And I'm not going to buy the excuse that he has no playoff experience, because neither does his counterpart on the Islanders.
Exactly.
So that's not it. He's got a team playing in front of him. The team, yes, were there some defensive breakdowns? Sure. But I also felt like those were fluky goals that were preventable. The fact of the matter is the Penguins outplayed them and they didn't have goaltending. So deep breaths. It's only one game. But would I be a little bit concerned about longevity here? Yes. Because even if they make it past this first round, it's going to become a major issue at some point. It's just a matter of when.
I mean, I agree with you 100%, Ash, but I do think that this team does still have what it takes to go on. I don't see it happening. I didn't for a while now, but I still do see the right pieces to make it go. Like, Jarry is a good goalie when he wants to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, this team did finish first in the division, right? So that didn't happen. It's not a weak division. They do have the pieces. It's just they're not kind of like connecting the dots, so to speak. And I mean, there's so many good parts. There's so many good pieces to what I watched in game 1. There were so many. If we're gonna like take the goaltending out, so many things going right. And now are contending with possibly Brian Dumoulin being injured.
Yep.
Which is concerning.
That's a huge loss if something's wrong with him. I think the Pens looked really good for periods 1 and 2, and then period 3, the Islanders dominated almost. It was scary. So, it's scary.
Let's put it this way: they're very capable of coming back and taking this.
Absolutely.
Series.
Yes.
100%.
They're talented enough, and they can be confident enough.
Mm-hmm.
They just have to, because those few breakdowns that did happen cost them the game, and that's the problem. But I think overall they were sharp. There's not a whole lot I would change. But obviously the injury to Dumo could be a major
Is there
problem.
anything confirmed? Has anything? Because
No.
I
All
just
we
heard
know
he didn't
right
practice
now,
today.
he did not practice today. Yeah.
Mhm.
And who else? Well, Malkin did practice sort of, and I have to admit, when they said he wasn't playing game one, I was happy.
You don't want to bring Malkin in if he's still nursing an injury unless it's absolutely necessary. Like if it's
Right.
they're down 3-0 or whatever, they're down 3 in the series in the next game. That's when Malkin comes in. I don't really think he makes that much of a big difference if he's playing injured than if he's out.
I think the difference he makes is in how the rest of the lineup is configured. Now you have Carter and McCann on that second line with Kapanen. Now you have Zucker on that third line with Gaudreau. It threw off the lines, and hey, the results were there. It wasn't good. Carter did not have a good game. Neither did McCann. So
I thought McCann wasn't bad at all. Actually, he had some really good moments. If anything, I'd say Tanev was pretty quiet. From what I've seen from Tanev in regular season, I don't know. I just was kind of I think I've seen a shot of him where he was frustrated. You normally see him happy to be playing, and I don't know. I think Tanev was.
But he was out for a while, so he had to be super rusty.
Yeah, it was probably more like confusion than anything else. And frustration, trying to get his legs under him. But I will tell you, I didn't really expect anything out of Tanev. I really didn't. I mean, I was thinking that his presence alone would be a boost, which it seemed like it was. So that's a takeaway. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and that's that fourth line. And if Bluger, Tanev, and Aston Reese are your fourth line, in theory, you're doing all right. But it's just, I mean, hey, they scored 3 goals, which is pretty good for a playoff game.
2,
and they took it to overtime.
Was it 3?
It was 4-3
right.
overtime.
Yeah, the end of the third period, the last 4 minutes of the third period was really good. It's the best part of the game, actually.
Yeah,
the most excitement, so to speak. If you look at the Pens game last night against other games that have been played, it's like completely 2 different games. Woo!
Sorry about that.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel like playoff hockey just yet with me for the Penguins. I think they've got more, and if it's if it's the lines that are the problem or whatever it be, they haven't settled into that, playoff energy. Still kind of the same.
I think it was that Woodford.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what he was just about to say was that this team has lost 10 of the last 11 playoff games. Now, you might say, well, that was, you can't compare this team to previous year's teams, which is valid. But
wait, can you say that stat again, please?
10 of the last 11 playoff games they have lost. It's crazy.
11.
And they have not won a playoff series since 2018 when they beat the Flyers in the first round.
Yeah. So we might be looking at a confidence issue here, not just with Jarry, but with the whole team.
I think more than confidence, you're kind of looking at chemistry, gelling and getting vibing, so to speak. I see confidence in certain players, but not in everything. I think there's a disconnection somewhere in the team. Who knows? It could be with the coaching staff. It could be with one player. Maybe there's one player on the team that's just, causing crap for everyone else,
Yeah, I feel like you said, there's something there's certain players who look like they're ready, but it's not cohesive, and that's a problem.
Well, game 2 is must win. Do you agree?
Oh yeah.
There's no way they could go into New York down 0-2.
And they already lost home ice, so
yeah.
No, that's not over. They're not getting swept. Not this year. I'll be surprised if they make it out. It's still possible. Anything's possible. We're only on game 1, 2, on to game 2. Anything's possible, but unless they figure it out, they're not going to win the series, but they're not going to be swept this year. It's not going to happen.
There's a whole bunch of reasons why we could say why they didn't play great in game 1. They're rusty. There's, you're getting used to playoff hockey. The lines are different. There's a whole bunch of reasons, but unfortunately, I think you got to fix it real quick. So I just, it's not it's possible to still win a series if you're down 0-2 in the first 2 games, but it makes it really hard.
Well, and it's even more difficult when you lose your first 2 at home.
Yeah.
I was doing this thing last night. I was trying to figure out, I was doing some trending of teams who have lost game 1 of round 1 who have gone on to win the Stanley Cup. The last team to do it was the Washington Capitals, I believe, in 2018, when they lost their first 2 at home against the infamous Columbus Blue Jackets, which was a shocker in itself. And then they came back and won the next 4. So it's, nothing's impossible. Unfortunately, the problem is with the playoffs is you don't have a lot of time to rebound. You don't have time to correct your mistakes.
One of the
you
reasons
have to put in kind of quick fixes.
One of the reasons why I thought that the Pens would do better this series is because they did so well in the regular season against the Islanders. And as you guys said, that didn't mean diddly do squat. And one of the reasons why I didn't mean diddly do squat is because the goalie they faced was Varlamov, and they kind of owned Varlamov. Problem is, they're not facing Varlamov. They're facing a guy that almost killed Jake Gensel. I'm still not over that. I'm sorry. That when Gensel was flying and he trips him and Gensel goes flying into the boards, that could have been really.
Gensel had a rough game, actually. Come to think about it, I think he had
I think Gensel and Rust didn't have a great game.
Yeah, Rust was definitely not up to par for him.
Like I said, it didn't feel like a playoff game to me. I think they have more to give, a lot more. Just they got to step out of the regular season and start playing postseason hockey. It's a different game. Look at the other games around the leagues. You're not watching the same hockey you're watching in the regular season when you know what I mean? There's got to be some intensity. Something's the switch. It's like a switch. Like when you leave regular season, you go into postseason, and the rules change. It's a different game. It's just we're still stuck in regular season.
What?
I know one player who looked like a playoff.
Yeah, me
player.
too.
And his name is Kyle Palmieri. He has been waiting for years. He had a good game. You can tell that man had been waiting 3 years.
Yeah,
for yesterday.
He had a good game. Good call, Ash.
We need to know. It's just so annoying because he was just not good in the. Some players are just good only in the playoffs. This is really annoying.
Look at Max Talbot.
Yeah.
I mean, Max Talbot is a clear-cut example of, I don't want to call him useless during the regular season, but he was not necessarily noticeable. But then whenever playoff time came around, he was like, oh, hi, I'm here.
Nick Bonino, another one.
Nick Bonino.
Those are kind of the best players, though, because, they kind of like fly by under the radar through the season. Team gets in, and then they turn it on. They're like this whole new hockey player that helps end up winning championships.
And Kyle Palmieri, I think, has always been that kind of player, but he's never been able to really showcase that considering the teams that he's been on, between Anaheim and Jersey. So now that he's with, a consistent playoff team, like I said, This man has been waiting 3 years to come out of his shell and say, "Hi, I'm here. I can play in the playoffs." And boy, did he deliver.
Some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this. I mean, Kelly Clarkson said it best.
I must have like walked out or something, guys. I didn't hear anything. I'm sorry.
I said, well, okay, I was going to sing it. I will not sing it, but
No.
some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this.
That's
or in this case, 3 years. But let's say they do this, the Penguins do lose this series. Do you make major changes to the do you blow up the core? Do you make trades?
I was going to ask you what kind of major changes, and I say yes.
Do you fire the coach? I mean, I just said 10 out of the past 11 playoff games have been losses. At what point do you say, oh, do you blow it up?
I don't know why I laughed. That was inappropriate. I think we need a goalie. We can't have 2 backup goalies. Number 1. Number 2, it's time. Sydney and Malkin, they're not vibing like they used, like both playing well at the same time. One's either injured, one's not. They come back and it's like not so good when they're, you know what I mean? Like, I think that the duo might need to be broken up. And get something in return, maybe. I don't know.
There was a big article. Well, we won't mention that. But there was somebody said that Sid needs to come to Canada because he's being wasted in Pittsburgh or something like that. But
I was about to say we're not giving any credence to that because that's like the Steve Simmons hot dog article that became Pittsburgh lore. Okay. Basically. Let's face it.
We'll see. I mean, I think that game 2 is going to be enormous. I think for everyone, for the whole team, not just Jarry especially. Jarry needs a rebound more than anyone.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think the team can rally behind him and keep him on his toes, keep his confidence up. I think that's very important. And I didn't really see much of that, players coming up when he let in a goal. It's okay, buddy.
What bugs me is the last regular season game was that legacy, or however you say it. When you have a situation where you have a goalie that's a rookie or somebody with a lot of experience or somebody that's quote unquote not good or something like that, the team rallies around that. The team plays a tight defensive game so that they don't leave the goalie out to dry. But maybe they should adopt that. Maybe they should just do a tight conservative game, kind of like the Islanders do, and just get your chances that way instead of doing stupid stuff.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, because think about it. Like that's the Trotz mentality, right? Is to play a tight game regardless of who's in net, and that's exactly what they did. Now the Penguins were successful in breaking the neutral zone, but the Islanders were still very responsible overall, and that's how they play. So it's really not a bad mentality to have. We shall see how they come out tomorrow night.
We shall see. What about, so far, every game that has every game in the playoffs gone to overtime?
No. I would like to remind you that Braden Point scored with a minute 20 to go.
Boy, that Florida Tampa Bay series is looking really good. Pretty chippy, eh?
I love it so much.
It's exactly what I expected. If I was a neutral fan, I'd be feeding off the energy. But because I'm not a neutral fan, I'm going to be there at 12:30 on Saturday afternoon, drinking a lot of beer to, handle my nerves. All sincerity, though, it's awesome.
You're going to cheer on that big cheater Kucherov who decides to take the regular season off so he can play in the postseason?
Why wouldn't you take advantage of that? So many people get upset by this.
It's not cheating.
It was literally made a rule, and people saw the loophole and took advantage of it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get
you mad?
All over you, Joe. I'm not mad.
I am not.
That's what I need. Like, I've been calling people out on that. I'm like, how is it cheating when it's in the rules? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying if you want to question Stamkos, fine. He has a history of having stupid injuries. This was Kucherov's first injury, and they came out back in October and said he needed hip surgery. So it's not like this is anything new. And in Brisboy's fairness, or BB's fairness defense, I can't even talk right now because I'm so riled up now. He tried to get rid of Tyler Johnson not once and not twice, possibly 3 times. He put that man on waivers twice to make cap space, and nobody wanted him because they knew the game that he was playing. And so, you can't say he didn't try. I'm just saying. But I am saying that this is the last year of the Lightning core as it is. I would be shocked to see Alex Killorn and Tyler Johnson back in Tampa next season.
Interesting. So this is like their last best chance.
This is absolutely their last go around. We already know that Tyler Johnson's going to Seattle. He's a Washington native.
Oh God.
Because here's the problem. Yzerman signed everyone to like 5-year, $5 million deals with no move clauses. And Yzerman, I love you, but you screwed them over at the same time. Okay, like all these no move clauses, like grinds my gears.
But it's going to be a good game tomorrow. So you're saying something about being nervous, but remind me who won last year.
It doesn't matter.
Just remind me who won last year.
I am so happy that we're finally getting a Florida Tampa Bay series because it seems like
taken too long.
It seems like a natural rivalry.
It's so exciting. It's like kind of like the Edmonton Calgary vibe,
Yeah,
love it.
It's like Big Brother is playing Little Brother.
Well, what's really funny though is Florida saw themselves as the Big Brother for a long time because of their improbable run in the mid-90s. And then that tide shifted. And it's like we've never seen the fruition of this rivalry until now. And I was telling Jen before the call, I don't hate the Panthers. There are more teams I dislike than the Florida Panthers. I wouldn't necessarily be mad. And I took them in this series because they are so strong top to bottom. They have a great balance of, youth and veteran presence. I mean, look at, our boy Hornquist, tearing it up as usual. But then they have all these young kids like Mackenzie Weegar and Frank Vetrano and, Verhaeghe, who they got from Tampa. I mean, they're loaded. And this is without Aaron Ekblad, because Aaron Ekblad had a season-ending injury a few weeks ago. So they're doing this all, without him. And then they traded away Trocheck last year too. So, Quenneville's done an amazing job in Florida. And I know, I'm sorry, Yinzers, I love you. I know y'all are getting riled up because you're like, why isn't Mike Sullivan in a top 3 conversation for the Jack Adams? It's because of guys like Joel Quenneville who turn their teams around. You have to respect that. They don't have a superstar in Florida. I mean, you can say Sasha Barkov, perhaps, but I wouldn't put him he is a very, very, very good center, but he's not a superstar in terms of anything. They're just a solid team, and Quenneville's done an amazing job at putting the players in the spots they need to be.
I have a feeling you might not hate them now, but in a few games you're going to hate them because this seems like an awfully chippy series.
I hated their fans when they didn't throw hats for a hat trick. So it's really more that
they throw rats, not hats.
No, they didn't even throw rats. I was really disappointed. And I'm most disappointed in the fact that Stanley the Panther told me to kiss his butt. And I never got to. So we were sitting because like the way that the Panthers did it, I don't know if they've changed that with like expanded, fan presence and such, but they had like an isolated section where their mascots were. and we happened to be sitting literally right by Stanley the Panther. And, we were being our stupid little selves, and he told us to kiss his butt a few times.
Like verbally?
No,
or just like
he
motioned it.
He motioned it, like took his hand to his face and then put it on his butt. I was really flattered. I had never had anyone say that to me.
Really?
I mean, yeah, I have, but not a mascot.
I love your monotone sarcasm. It's kind of like my favorite thing of you. You dip into this, like you get your point in there. It's literally one of my favorite traits of yours, Ashley.
How many people can say a mascot told them to kiss their butt? That's pretty impressive.
I mean, other than the Philly Fanatic, which the Philly Fanatic has never done that to me, but I've seen the Philly Fanatic do it. And I'm sure Gritty would if I ever saw him up close. I'm surprised he didn't last time I was in Philly, because it was like right when he was introduced. But yeah, it's very much a rarity. So I have to say I'm beyond flattered.
His name is actually Stanley C. Panther. That's dumb.
Stanley the Panther, and then I forget what the rat's name is, but they have a rat mascot too. Yes, they do.
Embrace the weird, right?
Heck yeah, I love it. They sell rats in their arena.
They threw some on the ice last night. I'm pretty sure at one point.
Who's the Lightning mascot?
Thunderbug.
Thunderbug. No, no butt kissing there. No talent. No. You're good.
I mean, I've gone into that arena so many times in Penguins jerseys over the years, but no, nothing ever happened to me. Only in Sunrise.
Thunderbug looks dumb. Okay, yeah, Thunderbug looks dumb. That looks like a reject from the B movie or something like that.
Thunderbug is definitely
that's a good analogy. That was good. Yes, I see that.
Yeah, it looks like somebody that tried out for a B movie and just did not make it or something like that. Oh my goodness, Thunderbug is yellow Kermit the Frog. Oh no!
Kind of.
Oh
kind
no!
Of. Oh, I'm crying.
Oh, they need to fix that. Anyway,
yeah.
let's real quick. Let's go through the other series. Washington and Bruins.
That's one to watch. It's exciting too.
That's gonna be good. That's probably going 7, huh?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Just like
I hope they beat each other's brains out for 7 games.
I was so upset when it only went to 1 overtime. I wanted 19 overtimes. I wanted them to all drop dead. I wanted them to just
time.
collapse.
It's so weird having regular season games being played up here still.
It's very weird. Who's playing Calgary and Vancouver or something?
Calgary, Vancouver, and yeah.
They're
playing it out. There's a game tonight, I think. Maybe tomorrow night too. They play back to back. I think there's 3 teams involved in this. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Playing regular season games when the Stanley Cup playoffs are going on.
I know. I look at the schedule and it's here. I have it right here. It's hilarious. It's Vancouver. Why do I keep saying Vancouver? That's the right team, right? Yeah.
Vancouver and Calgary.
Yeah, tomorrow night. So
yeah,
they play Calgary at 4 tomorrow.
It's like going to a restaurant, eating, getting the bill, and then they give you breadsticks or something like that. It's just a very weird.
They have 2 games left, guys.
Very
yeah.
Weird.
There's another one on Wednesday. I'm so
they're back to back. They're back to back. I love it.
How do you think Carolina and Nashville is going to go?
I think Carolina might steamroll. Yeah.
I mean, Nashville is doing a good job with their rebuild, but they're not there yet. It's actually a pretty quick rebuild, to be honest. But I want to talk about Minnesota Vegas and how
me too. I was just going to bring that up. You think Vegas is in trouble?
No, I think it was just a goaltending duo. I don't know if Cam Talbot's capable of that every single game.
Because Fleury was amazing in that game.
Yeah, both goalies were amazing. And what was crazy is Vegas absolutely dominated the first period. Like they outshot them 20-5. And then it was pretty balanced the second period, and then Minnesota dominated the third period. But if I'm Vegas, I'm not necessarily concerned. Cam Talbot was just playing out of his mind. If I'm Vegas, I walk out of there confident because they took advantage of their chances. It's not like it was a very competitive, spirited 1-0 game. I mean, I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. Vegas was pressing. If I'm DeBoer and I'm coaching Vegas, I tell them not to change a thing. But I also say that to Minnesota as well. I think both teams brought their A games.
It was just a 50-50 game, and it just happened to go
It
Minnesota's
absolutely
way.
was.
I think Vegas will take it though.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree.
Does Montreal have any chance against Toronto?
I mean, Montreal took out Pittsburgh last year.
Exactly.
And yeah, they absolutely do. But
yeah,
I don't think they will. And this whole curse on the Leafs, you know, they can't get past the first round. Well, they're not playing an American team this year, right? So they just might do
it. They don't have Boston to lose to every single year.
Or Columbus last year. Oh my God.
How about Winnipeg? Do they have a chance to beat the Oilers?
I'd say so. Yeah. That'll be a really tight series.
I think Winnipeg has a better chance than people think, because I still firmly believe Edmonton is a one-line team and Winnipeg is not a one-line team.
And that one line's not enough to carry the team. It doesn't have enough playoff experience on it. Right. And Winnipeg's a horse.
All right.
Yeah. Winnipeg's goaltending's better.
Give me your final four.
Oh God. I don't know how it works out.
Mother.
Okay. So here, we'll start in
It's one from each division. So I got you. Hold on. I got you. Okay. I'm going Islanders, Florida, Colorado, and Winnipeg. I am going with some dark horses here.
Ooh, okay.
I still don't know how it works. One from each.
So the East. Okay, here we'll just do it this way, real quick. Pens Islanders, who wins?
Next question.
Okay, Capitals Bruins.
I don't know.
You're really bad at this shit.
I don't know. It's so hard right now. It's just so hard. Islanders against the Bruins.
Okay. Then who wins between Islanders and Bruins? I would say probably Bruins, huh?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay, so Bruins, and then in the Colorado from the west. How about north? How about your Canadian?
Toronto. Let's go.
And in the is that the south? I guess.
Central.
Oh, they're calling it the Central. So
I'm going to go with Florida.
There you go. Okay. My final four: Penguins, Florida, Montreal, and Colorado.
Montreal.
Joe. Keep in mind. That's not who I'm rooting for. That's who I'm predicting. Keep in mind, I am like my accuracy is like 5%.
I was gonna say it's 100% not happening. You had me at Pittsburgh and Florida, and then you lost me. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I am.
I mean, mine's even worse because I kept on saying that Tampa was going to lose last year. So I'm going to go with that again, that they're going to continue to lose. And that's that.
What's the series most likely to go to 7 games of these first round?
Most of them will.
Most of them probably.
Florida, Tampa, Boston, Washington. I could actually see Colorado, St. Louis going to 7, depending on which St. Louis team shows up.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
And if that first game is any indication, I could totally see Vegas, Minnesota going to 7
I don't know if Minnesota can hang for 7 games.
No, I don't think so.
That's true.
I see Vegas steamrolling. I could see them winning the next 4. To be honest, they were so good to watch, and I mean, it's experience too. Playoff experience is huge, and knowing how to keep that mentality locked for a longer haul. Those are the teams that
I tell you what, if Vegas and Colorado can make it to, out of that those first rounds, imagine that match.
That would be such a good series.
Oh,
that's what I'm going with.
We
Vegas
got
Colorado.
We got deprived of that last year because Dallas decided to beat Colorado, so we got deprived of that. I'm still mad.
It's like you guys said, there's nothing like playoff hockey. It's just
a drug.
intense. It's awesome. It's awesome. We're going to get 2 months of awesome hockey, and it's a wonderful thing.
It's such a wonderful thing.
And it's just started. Where this I remember when the Penguins were going through their runs, and there was not a lot of sleep going on. Because now, by the way, I just have to say, I know it's a stupid thing, but if you say a game starts at noon, start the stupid game at noon, not
Right?
12:30. It was so annoying.
I kind of knew better, so I didn't actually go inside. I was outside. The weather's been so good. I'm like, I'm good. We're good. I go in at 20 after, and I'm like, still no anthem. All right, I'll go make a tea.
Exactly. We went to Permani's to watch the game. That's our tradition, and we were sure to get there at very early so we could get a seat. And then it's like, okay, we're here. Noon it starts. Oh, great. We're gonna be talking. Okay, fine. 10 after. 15 after, 20 after. Like, when is this thing actually going to start? Come on.
It's pretty brutal.
Oh, so stupid, but so annoying. But anyway,
I'm not going to tell you where I watched the game from because you guys will get mad at me.
Where'd you watch it from?
The pool.
My pool.
Yeah, I got it right. That's where I would have been.
All right,
Yep.
guys. Any closing thoughts?
I really want to see the Pittsburgh Penguins turn it around. I really do. I don't want to see them lose this series. I don't.
I think if they do lose this series, there will be serious consequences. I think. Remember, we have a new GM and a new president.
Why do you have to remind me of that?
Right. So
It's like reminding me Jeff Carter plays for the team.
Right. So I mean, they could say, okay, we tried it your way. Now we're going to blow it up. So I don't know. We'll see. Could be an interesting off season. I just really hope they don't go out like this. I mean, is it just a case that Barry Trotz owns them?
No, I won't allow that because we've beaten him before in playoff series.
But that was with the Capitals.
So it's still him, still the same guy.
But it's a different. You know what? Yeah, but
the Islanders play such textbook hockey. The way to beat them is play playoff hockey. That different, that more physical, that more in your face, less time, give them no time, smother the players. You have to change. They have to change. They have to convert from their regular.
You can't let Clutterbuck and
to go to. They can do it.
Are the Penguins capable of playing a more? Are the Penguins capable of playing a more physical brand though?
Yeah,
that's not their thing.
They can, but they can if they want to.
You're right.
Put Clutterbuck and Kumroff in their places.
Yeah, control. Just have more control. I think Sidney, who was really good last night, he was probably one of the best players on the team for the Penguins.
Yes.
Always, every night, anyways. But he was so aggressive and strong on the puck, and if he that energy can feed and spread through the rest of the team and boost, Tristan's confidence, we're laughing.
I just don't want things to end this way. I just don't want. Because this is it. I mean, I really think if they lose a series, this is the end of an era. And it's
been a good run for you guys, though. I mean, I know I'm just kind of peaked in at the end of it, but
good. It's been a good run. We have good times. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. All right, guys. Always great talking to you. We're just either way, we're going to be talking hockey, whether this Penguins are in or not.
100%.
So, all right.
No doubt.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Go
Pens.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.